How we doing, people? I apologize for the blur on my camera. This thing is old. It's a crappy little webcam, and some days it just decides not to have focus. So I apologize for that. But we do have a cool live stream. I know last stream was a little messy. We had a lot of technical issues, but this time I've really tried my best to have some cool stuff set up for us to work on. So we're going to be doing two things. First one, I'm going to show you guys this new workflow that I've created, which, if you've not seen it, there is a new animation, little teaser that has been released for We Few Survivors Part 2. Excuse me. And kind of just is like a cool transition from Farah, our main actor, who plays Laura, the main character, transitioning into it becoming Laura. And there's some cool little steps that we do along the way, and so it's just a cool before and after, you know. Like, I'm not going to get into the grimy details because no one's going to find that interesting. It's very nerdy, so we're going to avoid that, and I'm just going to show you the cool before and after of like what an initial render looks like out of Unreal, and then once I put it all through all the post-processing on the post side after it's been rendered, what it ends up looking like. So we'll go through that. It will be a brief but a fun thing, I think, and some of you might find it educational, some of you might just find it cool. We'll see what happens. But the main thing that we're going to be doing today is we are going to finally be designing some infected. Specifically, we are going to be designing runners and stalkers. We have clicker designs. I'm going to be using the same meshes that I had for the clickers and the bloaters in the first one, We Few Survivors Part 1. We're going to be using those same meshes if needed for We Few Survivors Part 2. But for runners and stalkers, because they're far more human looking, I didn't want to just use any kind of generic human character out there. I want to use metahumans because metahumans are super, super detailed and really diverse, and it allows us to take advantage of Metahuman Animator, the really awesome control rig that comes with metahumans. We get to take advantage of all of that if we use metahumans. So we're going to be diving into that. I'm going to show you how we make these things, how we can customize things and just make them look really creepy, and just, yeah, kind of build things out from there, come up with a few iterations, and then just kind of go from there. But that's basically the plan for today. In terms of updates, it's good. I'm in a place now where I'm happy with the solid pipeline. I'm happy with the pipeline from bringing the mocap into Unreal to then hitting render in Nuke and having the video file. I am now happy, and I have an understanding of what that's going to look like, which means that once we get these infected designed, I can start jumping into shots, because now we have no limit in terms of assets. So yeah, this is going to be fun. Things are kind of, you know, ramping up now with We Few Survivors Part 2. If you've not seen the teaser, I encourage you to check it out. It's pretty cool, I think. It's on Instagram. I am going to be posting it on YouTube later today, so you can enjoy it there as well if you'd like, as well on TikTok. But right now it's up on Instagram if you haven't seen it. And so, yeah, we're just going to be jumping into it. If you are not subscribed already, please consider subscribing, liking. You can follow me on Instagram for regular updates on productions. You can also join our Discord. There should be a link in the description that should take you to the Discord. And yeah, I think without further ado, let's just kind of jump into things. All right, so this was our little test. This was just a test walking cycle. So what we got is we had Laura on a treadmill doing a walking cycle, and this was to be for any wide shots where I need them to be walking long distance, but also to be something I can use as a test to break things, intentionally strain things, test things, see what works, see what doesn't work. Right, and so this is what it ends up looking like inside of Unreal Engine. It's pretty cool. We've got our lighting set up. We've got some cool vegetation for the forest. We've got some cool fog that's kind of around. This animation is a little longer than the one that actually went out, because I just thought you get the idea after about 3/4 of the way through the video. You get the idea, and so there was no point continuing it on. But what's cool is if I zoom out, so this is what the setup looks like. So we have these ground fog. So if I hide these, you can see what they're doing. In fact, if I do this, it's more obvious. So we've got some cool volumetrics for the ground fog. We've also got the fog in the distance. We've got a few point lights here, just creating some interesting rim lights on some of the trees. We've got a whiteboard here. If you've been in previous live streams, the reason why we use these is to either bounce light or to kind of fill shadows or to absorb light. So you would use a blackboard to absorb light and darken shadows. It's a thing that's done on real sets with actors on set, and you can do the same in Unreal, which is always quite cool and fun to try and implement things like that. So this thing actually moves along with her so that we get this consistent shadow. Now, in hindsight, I probably just could have made the whole thing, but what I wanted is I wanted to create a bit of basically a natural vignetting behind her to help separate her, because if I hide this, there's just a little bit more, it's not super obvious, but there's a little more fill coming in. And we want some shadows, right? So we've got all these different layers, and this is looking pretty cool, right? We've got our new materials for Laura. Excuse me. We've got some blood on the hands. We got some blood sprays on the face, which why she has these will be revealed. Some of it will be revealed in the official trailer, and obviously all of it will be revealed in the final thing. We've done some adjustments on the clothing, but there is still more that we can do here. Now, I could do it inside of Unreal, but the issue is I find that when doing it in Unreal, it still has a bit of a video game look. So what I like to do is render it out and put it into a software called Nuke. Nuke is the industry standard for compositing. If you don't know what compositing is essentially, if you've ever seen a shot where a CG vehicle, monster, character, or environment is in the same shot as live action real people or real sets, compositing is needed to combine them and make them look like they were filmed at the same time. And Nuke is the industry standard for doing that, but it's also really powerful at doing post-processing, which is basically just a fancy way of saying putting a final filter on your render that you can customize to make things look as real and as cinematic and as close to what you have in your mind's eye as possible. So to do that, we have to render it out. But when rendering it out, we're going to do something a little different. Typically, when you render, you would just render this out as a single image, and it would be an image sequence just all the way through, and then you play them in sequence and it looks like a video. I'm doing something a little different. So if we come in here to our render settings, typically in Unreal Engine, you are going to use Movie Render Queue. I have started using Movie Render Graph. And again, I am not going to go into super detail because I don't want to bore people. But what's really cool about Movie Render Graph is it is way more customizable, and you can be way more granular when it comes to your renders. So if I jump in here to my render settings, it's a node system rather than it being just a bunch of layers of values that I have to enter. I can just put things in here. So these are my just main render settings. I'm not going to go into detail. You don't have to be, but this top line is just all the main things that tell Unreal Engine to render it at super high detail. I want it to be an EXR sequence, which is just a high detail image. And I get to, control things like I want it to be in 4K. I want it to be 24 frames per second, because that's usually what films are done in. Lots of different things here. But this is where it gets interesting right here. This is where we get into some more of the fun stuff. And again, I'm not going to go into crazy detail because I don't want to bore anyone. If you guys would be interested in a more in-depth tutorial that shows you how to do this, do leave a comment in the what is it? Leave a comment in the comments? I don't know. I'm a YouTuber. I should know this. Well, I'm not. I'm clearly not, because I don't even know what the hell the comments are called. So we have our render layers here, and this is something that is brand new. It's not brand new, but it's something that's brand new to Unreal on a macro scale, because we've always just not had the ability to render things out separately at the same time. So what's really cool here is I have my beauty layer, and my beauty layer is basically just all of this in one. What you're seeing here is going to be rendered out as that, but at the same time as it does that, I tell it, please also render a layer that is only my character, and render that out. And because we're using an EXR sequence, for those of you who don't know what an EXR is, because we are using an EXR sequence, it means that I can put multiple render layers into one image. If I was doing PNG or JPEG, it would all be its own images, which gets really confusing and quite overwhelming. So by doing it this way, I now have one layer, which is just everything, and then one layer that is my character, which means I can now isolate the character and put specific effects on the character. And you can also do it for things like fire, lens flares, muzzle flashes, explosions, because something that's quite exciting is, you know, typically what you see in a lot of The Last of Us is when there's a really bright source of light on screen, it will highlight lens dirt on the screen, which is just a really cool way of making it feel more like it's being filmed on a real camera when it's actually just a video game. Well, by having these render layers, I can now isolate the fire, the explosion, the muzzle flash, and use that and go, okay, I only want the lens dirt to appear here where this bright light is. And again, it's okay if that doesn't make sense to you, but it's just cool that we have all these different passes. Now, once I've rendered everything out, we can come into... oh, I think Nuke crashed. Okay, interesting. Don't know why that happened. I had it open, ready to go. Give me 1 second, guys. While this opens. What's going on? Okay, we're going to do this. Yeah. Oh, wow. It broke. Okay, interesting. All right, 1 second. There we go. So if I come here, so this is our render, right? We now have our render inside of Nuke, and all of these nodes I am now feeding my image through. But here's the cool thing. Look at this. If I go here, I have just Laura by herself, and if I look at the alpha, it's a perfect alpha. And it has motion blur applied to it as well, which means it's going to perfectly line up with her movement. So if I want to do any adjustments to her or any adjustments to the background, I can now do that. It's really powerful and it's very exciting. So again, if you guys want a tutorial on it, let me know. So essentially, we plug our image sequence into this large system that I've built. This is custom. And then if I come here, pay attention to this screen. Okay, pay attention here. See the difference. So here's what it looks like, just straight out of Unreal. And here's what you guys saw on Instagram. So all these effects are being applied. So we've got some lens blur, we've got blur, we've got glow, we've got God rays, we've got some color grading, we've got more blur on edges, we've got a little bit of extra motion blur, we've got some streaks to the corners, some radial blur, we've got some vignetting, some subtle vignetting. We have our mask here using this is some lens dirt that I just found online, just a free image, and we're using it so that on the brightest spots, now obviously there's nothing super bright in this scene, so it's not going to happen, but in scenes where there's fire or an explosion, this will now appear on the screen, which is really cool. do a little bit of lens distortion, because we want a bit of that, because we want it to feel more like it's actually being filmed on a camera. So we add a little bit of lens distortion, add a bit of final grade, add some film grain, and that's our final look. So that's our before, that's our after. Before, after, before, after. And here's the kicker, guys, and we'll finish this, and this is the last thing I'll say, and then we're going to jump into working on some infected. Okay? Now that I've built this system, I can plug any shot from Unreal into this, and it will apply the same effects to the same things. And that is the power of Nuke. So if I had a different sequence where maybe she's walking along and hiding behind a tree, rather than having to do this all over again, all I would have to do is unplug this image sequence and plug in a different image sequence. And then all of these effects get applied. And then, of course, if I need to customize things, tweak things, I can. But that is the incredible power of Nuke and the incredible power of this new render layer system that Unreal has, which is all very exciting. Now that we've gotten through that, and I'm not, being boring, but I just wanted to show that so you guys can see, if any of you are interested, that's the kind of stuff that is going to be happening basically on a shot-by-shot basis. I got to do that for every shot. I'm going to work as fast as I can, but I also really want to take my time and make sure that this thing is good. Because if it's not, I'm going to be mad. I got to make this thing good. You guys deserve a solid upgrade from the first one. People love the first one. I want people to be able to enjoy the second one even more. I want people to go, I didn't waste my time watching this. I really want people, which I guess is the bare minimum, but hopefully you understand what I mean. Is I want people to watch it and go, that was fun. I had a really fun time just watching that. Hell yeah. And maybe they feel inspired and want to go and make something themselves, or I don't know, but I think it's cool. Anyway, now I'm just finding, give me 1 second. We are now going to jump into making infected, baby. We're going to make some infected. So let me share my screen again. So we've got some cool templates here. So we've got a bunch of clothing here, which is pretty cool. So this is a bunch of different clothing that we can put on our infected. Now, typically we're going to stick to this stuff or this stuff. We're going to stay away from these. These are starting to go towards more of the Walking Dead kind of vibe, and I want to kind of avoid that with this infected. I don't want it to be distracting what the infected are wearing. But some really cool assets here. And then we have these, which are really cool, which are just a few different templates that we can feed into our metahumans and then customize. Because I'm not going to use these just out of the box. I want to customize them. I want to make something very specific. I have a very specific vision of what I want these infected to look like, and these look more like zombie, traditional zombie, and we're going to avoid that, and we're going to try and make something that is a bit more like The Last of Us. So this is what we're going to do. We are going to make what does this look like? Interesting. Crazy. All right, we're going to make our first one. So if you guys want to make a metahuman, you have to first install the plugin. So you come to plugins, metahuman. You have to install Metahuman Creator. I would recommend these as well, but Metahuman Creator is the main one. And then we right click, come to Metahuman, Metahuman Character, and then we're just going to go female runner 1. Yeah, I think we might become more specific with our naming, but we'll start with that. We'll start with that. So let this load up. If at any point you guys do have any questions, or whether it's about what I'm doing, or maybe just something in general about We Few Survivors, or even just something in general about the channel, please do not hesitate to shoot it into the chat. Or if you are watching this after the live stream, please feel free to shoot it into the comments. All right. So this, when you initially open a metahuman character, this is typically what you're going to get right out of the box. Just this generic template. This is not what we want. We want something a little more specific. We want a runner. So we are going to come to the... Let's start with the face. Why not? Let's start with the face. Let's come to the face. We're going to select on this conform. Okay. Now, and we're going to come from a template. And I think this is where I need to come here. Is this a template? It is a template. That's quite intense. Is that really the one? Interesting. It's not how the one looked like in the video. That's all right. We're going to customize it anyway. Let's see what happens when we hit conform. Whoa! Looking kind of crazy. What happens if I do this? Nothing. Ooh, okay. That is very interesting. Oh, do they have teeth? That could be interesting. Let's see if this has... Okay, these are some of the... Oh, these are some of the samples. This is quite a good one. Okay, let's actually just... Because this is what I wanted for this first one. So let's actually get rid of that. And let's jump inside of this one. And this... We're gonna basically... how many should we make? I don't know. How many do you guys think we should make? How many variations? Probably about 6, I think. At the beginning, we'll make about 6 variations. 3 male, 3 female. Yeah. And then we'll see what that looks like. I think we'll start with that. And then if we need to adjust things further, we will. Whoa. Oh, it does come with teeth. Interesting. Why is the... Okay, let's remove the rig. Do you know what? This music... I feel like this music doesn't really match what we're doing. Should we create... Should we find some copyright-free creepy music? Maybe dark ambience. Was this? No, this is not. Hey, I mean, it's kind of cool, but it's not what I... We want some creepy music. I would play music from The Last of Us, but I'll get copyright strikes, so... Creepy... None of them say copyright free. Oh well. We'll just stick with this. Okay, cool. So let's get to our materials. So I am now in Unreal Engine 5.7, guys. I took the leap. We went from... Okay, where are the materials? Should be getting red. Is it? Oh. Why is this happening? I don't need... I like... Why? Oh, they're only 2K? Really? It's kind of disappointing. Okay, you know what? Let's turn off texture overrides. I think they're a little dodgy, but I know that those materials will work. Okay. Let's try to make this a little creepy. We don't really need to worry about what they look like, but well, maybe that was it. Maybe if I do it now. Oh, okay, cool. It's working now. Great. So go to the body. What's going on with the body? Skin tone. I mean, it's okay. I'm not overly concerned because we can fix this later on. This is looking pretty cool. I don't think an infected would have a ponytail. Unless it was a fresh infected. Maybe if it was a fresh infected. Hey, dude. Great to see you working on the new film. Super excited. Me too. Thank you, mate. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm super excited to work on it more and reveal more. It's going to be very, very cool. But yeah, we're just gonna... why is this... Okay, so something is wrong here. Is it you? No. Is it you? No. You? No. It is you. Okay. Why are you being the way you are? Okay, you're not supposed to look like that. Interesting. The base color is not working. But that's okay. I'm not overly concerned about these materials not working in Unreal. Sorry, here specifically. Because I'm gonna be doing further customization to these anyway, so doesn't matter. Hell yeah, gotta know what's your largest scene you got to render. I don't want details about the scene. I mean, like metahuman sequencer wise. Oh, mate. There is a sequence in this second one that keeps me up at night. I know I'll do it. It's more of a matter of how long. It's going to be a lot. Yeah, I want to keep it vague, yes, because I don't want to spoil it for you, but there is a sequence nearer to the end of this movie that is overwhelmingly massive. In a good way. Like, I'm excited. I don't want you guys to feel like I'm excited to jump into that sequence, but basically everything up until then, I'm like, I've done this before, I know how to do this, and then there is a sequence at the end. It's not the definitive end, but it's, yeah, it's I'm trying to it could be I mean, yeah, there's going to be simulations. There's going to be, like, oh, I'm trying. It might be a spoiler, so I don't think I'll say it. But it's big. It's pretty massive. It's going to have to require some pretty intense organization on my end for the sequence to make sure that it works. But it is going to be quite insane, but I think you guys are going to really like it. I think you're going to get hyped. Yeah, we just got to get it right. Like, I want to say, there's some, it's going to be in the double digits, basically. It's going to be a lot of metahumans. But I have ways around it to make a small amount of metahumans feel like a large amount of metahumans. So, yeah, we'll figure it out. Let's scale this. She got makeup on? She does have makeup. Why does she have makeup on? I mean, I guess it makes them look creepy, but it's a zombie, guys. Zombies don't wear makeup. Everyone knows this. Zombies do not wear makeup. I have heard of the Overcrowd plugin. In fact, I'm actually mates with the creator of that plugin, and I spoke to him about using it for We Few Survivors, and he was down. he was like, dude, that sounds sick. Let's do it. And so he actually sent me a version of it for free, which is lovely. It's very generous of him. Obviously, hell yeah. But he yeah, he was like, I basically said, like, look, I'll talk about in the behind the scenes video, I'll talk about using Overcrowd and showcase it to people. And he was like, yeah, cool. So he's very generous about that. So I will be using it. Yeah, he's great. He's great. We kind of, it's interesting, like, we kind of started making stuff around the same time, me and him, and our content is very similar. His is more using markerless mocap, whereas mine is more using more traditional mocap, but we both kind of have the same goal of making cool animated short films. So it's been cool, like, going back and forth with him and talking with him. And yeah, he's a lovely guy. He's a lovely guy. I hope to work on a project with him. I think it would be really fun to collaborate in some way and actually make something together. I would love to do that sometime. So Charlie, if you see this, would love to make something together. I think it could be a lot of fun. Okay. This is looking a little better. Nice. Yeah. No, absolutely. It could. Absolutely it could. I think it's a incredibly powerful system, so there's a lot you can do with it. There's a lot you can do with it. Okay. I'm trying to find the Bloodshot slider. Is it this one? Oh, they've already cranked it up. I see. Okay, I think I'm starting to understand why they put the makeup on it, but I think I'm gonna do it myself. I'm gonna do it in Substance Painter. I'm not. I don't want to get caught up. This is more about nailing the geometry rather than nailing anything else. Okay. Second thing is this zombie is a little bit. It needs to be more malnourished, you know? You know what I mean? These runners are running and not eating, so they look kind of like disgusting husks of people. So it's kind of part of the grossness of them. No. That's good. Let's... Oh, don't want to do that. What is this? Whoa. Okay, interesting. Okay, that feels a little better. Let's go to hair. Because this hair feels a bit jarring. It's my main issue right now, is this hair feels a little jarring. How does this look? We need very specific hairstyles that make sense for an infected to have. Can't be too styled. Has to be messy. That's alright. I wish that wasn't happening. But it is good. It's usable. It's absolutely usable. I guess the ponytail does work. Yeah, it does, because it's like before they turned, I guess, yeah, before they turned, they had this. Ponytail could work. It's just the materials. I don't like the materials. This music's going crazy. Let's switch back to what we had before. I was trying to find creepy music and I was like, I just couldn't find anything. Okay, we are on no whiteness. And I think we're gonna go with like a dirty blonde. Something like that. I'm going to just, because it's kind of confusing me, I'm just going to turn these off. I'm just going to turn them off. And we're just going to go with this. It's going to make my life a little easier. Because it's too much. It's confusing me seeing the head look like that. And I'm like, it's too grey. And so it's like weirding me out. So... yeah, this figure. No eyebrows. Why is there no eyebrows? Come on. Whoa! Interesting. Okay. Alright. Those are some intense eyebrows. Try and find something that's a little more chill. Okay, see, now I'm starting to understand why they've made certain decisions with the look of these characters. But they can't, the issue is I can't have them look like monsters. They need to look like people. Because the point here is that they are people that have become infected. So there needs to be something... okay, we're just going to kill the eyebrows for now. I'm understanding now. I think we need to adjust some of the geometry of her face. It feels too angular. It feels too like a zombie rather than an infected. So I think we're going to go back and adjust that. We're going to at least give her some eyelashes. Because that feels right. And then let's get some peach fuzz. Not really interested in the crop top, you know? I think it looks a little goofy. Exactly. She needs, like, it's a little too intense right now, so we need to tone it down. This looks better. I don't think I like the jeans. No, actually, they're not bad. I'm just trying to think, like, at this point, 20 years into it, the stuff you're going to find the infected wearing is going to be it's mainly just going to be survivors that have turned. So we need to pick the right clothing. We could go with pants. Honestly, I think we'll keep it like this for now. Let's go back to the face. And perhaps let's change the lighting. Okay. Yeah. See how it almost looks like an alien? You know what I mean? don't. Let's calm this right down. There we go. Less of that. Less of that. Maybe if we go to clay. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, this is better. This is better. Actually. There we go. Looking better. Go away. What happens if I do this? Oh, it just completely kills it. Okay. That looks better. You know? In my opinion, that looks better already. The nose is still a little... Maybe go different nose. Maybe this one? That feels better. Chin. A little less intense on the chin. That's better. That feels still, you know, some malnourishment. Because this is the issue here is this is a runner, right? And runners still look quite human. A stalker, I would be okay with a stalker having more of a look of what she had before. You know what I mean? What's after this project? So I have some short form shorts that I want to work on. So I have an ending for the princess and knight concept that I've been working on. I've done 3 parts so far, and I have 2 parts left of that narrative. So that's something that I'll be working on. I also have a sci-fi. Kind of sci-fi action inspired by Helldivers, but not Helldivers. Piece that we just finished shooting a couple weeks ago, which will come out later this year. And then after that, I do have some ideas of where I want to go next for the next projects, but I don't want to say it yet, just because I want to announce it when I have something more solid, if that makes sense. But there is other stuff on the way. There is other stuff on the way. Okay, this is looking better. So now I think we go back and then we can make her look gaunt again. Right? But this time... Whoa, 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 whoa. Calm down, bro. Maybe if we... push the eyes in. That just didn't do anything. Okay. Okay, so there's that. So that's... let's push the eyes in a little. See, this feels way too harsh. So let's bring back this. Is it the... oh, it is just purely the eyes. Why? Why would you do that? See, now I feel like I'm changing it so much. It's like changing it too much? I don't know. We'll figure this out. We'll figure this out. We'll figure this out. I just don't want it to look like a model, you know? It's my only concern. So I don't want her to look like a model. I want there to be something scary. So maybe make those. I don't like how dark the eyes are. I don't know why the eyes are so damn dark. Where are they doing this? Is it this? Oh, it is. It is that. Yeah, I don't like the eyes being tinted that way. I think something like that looks cool, you know? So it's adding some like bloodshotness to the eyes. That feels right. Let's now go back and sculpt. We're going to make the mouth wider and we're going to press in the lips. I don't like how pouty the lips feel. We're going to make the jaw a bit more like this. Maybe bring those less in. Let's not view hair. Oh no, sorry, this one. Whoa, some crazy stuff going on top of the head. Good to know. Looking like Darth Maul. Yeah, I was gonna say Stalker was gonna be what you had before. Exactly, yeah. Yeah, and this is a runner, so we need to make this look more like a runner, but we can go back and use that for one of the Stalkers. Like, I don't see why not. The one with the Doom music, bro. Ah, thank you. I'm glad you liked it. Yeah, that was a fun one. I made that one quite quickly. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. A lot of fun to make. So when that trailer came out for Dune and that music was playing, I was like, hell yeah. I couldn't not use it, you know what I mean? Like, it was so cool. It sounded so cool. I was like, I can't not use this. Come on. There we go. Looking a little less crazy. The ears are a little distracting now. So let's bring back. That's better. That's better. Yeah. I don't like this shirt. Doesn't fit her form. Like, not... I don't know how to describe it, but it feels too ripped, you know? That feels like a shirt that a stalker would be wearing, although stalkers typically don't actually have any clothes on. But if they were to have clothes on, they would have something like that. You know what I mean? So let's get rid of this. And then if I'm happy, we can move on. It's the same thing, man. Why have they all got such massive rips at the top? I just want a shirt that is slightly ripped, bruh. Maybe this? Maybe tank top? Tank top could work, maybe? If we maybe go for a look like... someone that's on patrol. Oh boy, this is not great. I think it's also her design. Her arms are way too thin. I think I went a little hard on that. go back to this lighting. Whoa. Okay, that's better, but a little too muscular. Okay, that feels more right. Watch it just look the exact same as it did before, but I think once the materials are on her, she'll look quite cool. But that will be another live stream. I think next live stream will add textures to these guys. But today is about just the model, making the model look good. We're gonna change the shirt because I don't like it. It's not very good. It's just clipping through her back, which just makes no sense. Let's turn that off. Whoa! Demonetization, sorry. It's 3D, it's an animation, it's a video game, it's not real. Are we gonna have to go back to this? Just feels weird for a survivor to be wearing a crop top, you know? But I guess it works. Just feels weird, you know? It's like, why would someone in the apocalypse be walking around with a crop top on? I like the bare feet though, because that just kind of looks more animalistic. So this is really the exact same. Yeah. Oh, actually, no. I like it. It's a little better. Okay. I think I'm happy with this. I'm not happy with the face. Face looks too pretty. There needs to be something. I just need to make it more angular. I'm not saying that if you look like this, I'm not saying you're ugly. I'm just I don't want it to be jarring in any way of like, huh, that's a really good looking runner, you know. Not make the eyes too big, but that's worn down. That was a little too intense on the teeth. Again, I'm not concerned about the textures because we're going to... In fact, if we come here and turn back on... Okay. That head is so intense. Maybe this will be... Yeah, I think I'm starting to understand why they put eyeshadow. It does add something. It looks jarring, man. I don't... Yeah, I'm getting too caught in the weeds. We're going to do that in Substance Painter. But let's try and make her a bit more angular. I might even try to... Yeah, I mean, we're going to fix these materials. I don't like them at all. I actually quite dislike them. For this project. They're good, but just for this project, they don't work. They're too grey. They're not human looking enough. So we'll keep those off. Looks better. Let's go back to body. Oh boy, what are you doing? There we go. Let's make the thighs and the calves. That's better. Okay, what else? What else while we're here? Oh. One of these has some pretty good vascularity, which might work quite well. Oh, there we go. Having some vascularity could work. Yeah, that's pretty good. I think that's pretty good. Let's go back to the hair. And let's just have a look, because it is just, there are not a lot of hairs that work for infected. I think the ponytail could work. You know, like, I could understand that before they got infected, you know, just a regular day, put the ponytail, and then they get infected, and now, you know, they're infected with the ponytail. But I don't know if it's just something weird in my brain, like, when I think, you know, like, it feels too conscious, even though it, you know, it could happen. I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it. See, I feel like the only other option is this one. Which, if I crank up the simulation and make the simulation quite intense, it could work. Like, right now it looks weird, but I feel like if I increased how much the hair moved around, it could look quite rabid and crazy, you know? As they're running. It could work. Yeah. What about this? What does this look like? Is this the John Wick hairstyle? It's taking its time. Is it going to crash? Oh, okay. Okay, it's not bad. It's just bloody hell. It makes the forehead look humongous. Forehead just looks massive now. So that's... maybe it's the lack of eyebrows. It might be the lack of eyebrows that is not helping. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that joke, but if you put your fingers over, like, if you have your hair back and you put your fingers over your eyebrows, your forehead looks way bigger. It's quite funny, but it just happens. Our eyebrows do take up a good bit of space. I think this hair will work. Those eyebrows are really intense. Those might be a little too intense. Although, you know, infected, no, you know, there's no such thing as... my issue with this one is I think it was a unibrow. Whereas these are just dense eyebrows. I feel like the unibrow would be a little distracting. Okay, I think we can make this work. I think we just need to make it the head a little less big. It's a little big, just a tad. Okay, that's better. Okay, I think we are honing in on something, guys, here. This feels better. And I think once we have some cool materials, this is going to be a solid version of an infected. My phone is going off like crazy. Okay, this is good. This is good. This is a good start. Just give him a beard. Why not? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Oh, there's more. What is? Wait, what? Outfit clothing, skeletal clothing. You got police hats? Tights? Oh, okay. I don't really want to... I'm not being grossed out by tights, but I just mean, like, I don't... Some of these feel a little... weird. A little creepy, you know? Like, there's one that's, like, just a bra by itself. I don't know about that. I mean, it's totally possible, but it's not the point of this story. I'm not just gonna... I think it will make it take away from the narrative a bit, make it feel a bit weird for people. Oh, come on. And then transform, and going to bring these eyes back in a little bit, and then bring the hair back, and then see, this is good. This feels solid. The eyebrows, bloody hell, the eyebrows are so far forward. Can we just do this for simplicity? Because this feels crazy right now. There we go. That feels better. That's better. Feels a little less jarring. I don't know. There's some things about this that I'm not liking. Okay, that looks better. Her head felt too wide for her body, you know? Just felt a little jarring. I don't want this to feel like... just... like I've just gone, bleh, here's a character. Like, I want it to feel intentional. I don't want any of the characters to feel... too odd. Okay. This is better, but I still don't... Okay, that's... I think the eyes are too big. I think that's the issue. The eyes are way too big. That's better. That feels better. Let's put these on briefly, see what that looks like. See, they are... yeah, they do not work. I'm pretty happy with that. I think once we get all the materials, this will look This will look creepy. You know? Because we go... Wait, yeah, teeth, eyes... Oh wow, you can really up the vascularity coverage, which is kind of cool. Oh, can we change the pupil size? We can. Because that is another thing, is if we make the dilation super small. And then sclera. And then go to our cornea. No, it doesn't let us go any smaller. Limbus softness. Oh, I want the eyes, because the fungus originates in the brain. So one of the first things that goes is the eyesight. So I want there to be kind of this washed over look to the eyes almost. Oh, here we go. I think we found it. Yeah, that feels... I feel like that combined with the infected materials that we'll work on next live stream. Don't worry, we're not finishing yet, but what we will do is, I think it will help push this over the edge, you know? But I think this is a solid foundation. So let's jump into another one. Why not? Hey, why not? So we're gonna rename this, if it will let me. There we go. And we're gonna call this Female Runner 01. And then let's... Yeah, like this. Like, it just feels weird that like, why are they wearing a bra? You know, like, it just feels a little creepy. I don't know if you guys think that, but just, I don't know, it makes me feel a little uncomfortable. That she just feels like... The point is they're infected. Why, like, why? Come on. Be respectful. Yep. So we're gonna remove the rig, and then we're gonna remove these materials because it is freaking out right now. Okay. I think this is kind of cool. It's a little intense, you know? Like, but I could see it working. Maybe working. Not sure. Is it just a case of me closing and then reopening? Because it's kind of weird that it's doing that. No. Okay, it's still doing that. Why is it still doing that? What happens if we jump in here? It's happening here as well. Okay, so it's something to do with... Oh, man. I hate how it does that. The material's not loading? Is that it? You know what? I don't like it. I'm going to go with this. I'm going to call this Mail Runner 01. And let's remove the rig so that we can edit it. Let's turn off these materials. Let's make our guy. Yes. Oh wait, no. I think that was what fixed it before. Because it was baked in. Yes, it was. I actually don't dislike it. I mean, I don't like the clothing. We're going to get rid of the clothing. And we're going to get rid of the materials, because the materials aren't like, they're cool, but again, this is a runner. This isn't a stalker, so we need to go for a specific look. And that is freshly infected. So they still like they need to. What is one of the most terrifying things about runners is that they still look like them. They look like who they were before they were infected. They were in like they're fresh, usually within a couple days. So they're still wearing the clothes, still making noises like them. It's only in later stages that they start to become more like a monster, and so we just like this feels a little too disfigured, you know, for a runner. So we will most definitely just tone it down a bit. Just turn it down a bit. Seems to be doubled up. I don't know what's happening here. Seems like he's got two clothings. Yeah, he's got two clothings. He's got a shirt. I'm not against it. I'm not against this idea of it wearing a shirt, but I think that will be more of an alternate. So I think we're just gonna stick with the generic clothing for now. We can jump into more different types in the future. We're gonna change that hair. Well, I guess you can't escape a receding hairline even if you're an infected. Oh, I've been sitting in the same position for an hour and a half. I'm starting to cramp. There we go. That's better. All right. Let's turn off this button shirt. Let's get rid of this. Give it a second. Okay. All right. Now let's see what this looks like on him. I actually don't mind what the body looks like. I mean, the majority of it's going to be covered anyway. It's more the face. Yeah, I mean, that looks pretty good. Again, we're going to make some custom materials. Probably what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the materials that this asset pack came with and combine them with my custom stuff, because there's some cool stuff in those materials. The issue is that like they're all like super gray and like just really feel like a zombie rather than infected, and we're not doing zombies. The Last of Us isn't about zombies, it is about infected. That's part of what's so terrifying about it, is that these are living beings. That's brains have been hijacked. You know, so. Should we give him some curly eyelashes? He looks like a guy that would have some curly eyelashes. They did him dirty, didn't they? This design, they did him dirty. Okay. Let's take this and let's fix. Or more like that. The nose is fine. The eyes, on the other hand, feel okay. That's better. That feels less crazy. I don't dislike that. There we go. Just add a bit of, and I don't mind the ears either. It's kind of cool how the ears seem to have like bits of them kind of ripped off. You know, I don't dislike it. I think it's kind of cool. He's wearing makeup though. Why is he wearing makeup? Well, I guess, you know, if a zombie's got to get pretty, you got to get pretty. But unfortunately, our infected are not meant to be pretty. They're meant to be quite scary. Yeah, he's got foundation on. What are you doing, mate? So I'm supposed to be out there chasing after infected. What are we doing? There we go. That's better. And let's get rid of this hair. It's like the most generic meta-human hair. I don't know if you guys have like, you know, ever since Unreal Engine 5 came out, because it's free, and it only becomes, you only have to pay once your game makes a certain amount of money. I think it's like $1 million. Once it makes $1 million, you have to pay a percentage to Epic Games. But before then, you can just use it for free and make your games. And unfortunately, you know, one of the downsides of that is it means that a lot of games use the template metahumans, and so you look at them and you go, well, that's just a metahuman, and you can just tell right away. So let's go with a buzz cut. If it wants to load. Okay, we're gonna make that look a little nicer, because that looks a little weird. Or it could be, this one works quite well. I feel like this one, when done right, can feel quite good. Yeah. Yeah. No, I can make this work. Let's give him some eyebrows. We're just setting the foundations, Sam. Just setting the foundations. Don't worry about little things yet. Let's just set the foundations. We could give him some facial hair as well. Because a zombie, an infected is not going to be clean shaven. We know that. Unless they're like fresh, but I feel like, you know, naturally they just start growing hair. And yeah, that's why I like, and I guess this is just more of an artistic design, but I always wondered why you never saw an infected with just like a super long beard and super long hair. Because, you know, like technically that stuff's never gonna stop growing. Or the nails, you know? But I guess maybe a lot of them don't live long enough for that to happen, perhaps. You know? No. Just give him the stubble. Stick with the stubble. Yeah, that looks good. We'll change the colors in a second. I like the off-center of the eyes, though. That feels quite nice. Let's go with... Oh, it's... Yeah, let's go with these ones. Let's go with some, like, bright green eyes. Dilation... No dilation. Cornea. Small. With like sclera. No, that's not it. It's vascularity intensity. Vascularity coverage. And then woo. Zoomed in proper. What is this on his face? I need to figure out what that is. And then dilation. There we go. And then... What is this? This is the limbus. So we're going to just drop that to black. We're going to use a custom tint. And we're going to set it to red. And then we're going to drop. Like that. That looks good. Might bring back some saturation there. Cool. That feels kind of cool. Let's figure out what's going on here. What is this? Oh, it's this. Interesting. That feels a little distracting. What does this do? It's just freckles. What is it because of the color? Is it like applying a weird color to them? Yeah, okay, so it's the fact that the saturation was just set so low. It looked quite bizarre. I see. Well, let's just have some freckles. Why not? Eh? Why not? Strength. Wow, you can really push them. Can we not? Ooh. Don't crash. Nice. Okay. That looks quite good, actually. I think let's adjust the body, because body looks a little weird, actually. Now that I look at it, I thought it looked pretty cool, but the the chest looks bizarre, doesn't it? Is it just me? Chest looks weird. No offense if your chest looks like that, but see how it like comes out? Like it feels abnormally large to the rest of him. That's better. That feels better. Actually liked what they looked like before. What is this? Okay, no, we'll leave that. How about it? No, 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 no. Hands look really weird. Look at that. Like they look, you know, like really artificial. Sorry, bro. I'm gonna have to fix that. Because that feels a little too bizarre, you know? Like it's gonna be distracting. That still looks way too distracting. I think we're just gonna have to do that. Normal hands. That's better. How do the feet look? Feet look okay. What happens if I do this? Ah. Haha. Okay. Interesting. Okay. This looks better. I'm okay. Okay. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. Everything feels a little bit. Forearm feels quite intense. There we go. That feels so intense. You know, this bit here feels like crazy. What's causing that? I mean, I don't dislike it. It's not an issue. It's not like a huge issue. It actually can. It just. Yeah, actually, you know what? I'm overthinking it. I think that looks quite cool. Come on, Sam. I just want this to be good, you know? I want all the visuals to make sense. I don't want anyone to watch this and go, huh? Why did that character... Like, I don't want anything jarring. I want everything to make sense. How tall is this guy? Oh, he's my... Okay. He's my height. 180. Well, he's a little under 180, but yeah. Yeah, I think this guy's... I mean, this guy's good to go, I think. I mean, obviously, we're gonna redo the textures because... the other ones look a little too zombie-like, but I think this is a good foundation. Like, if I saw, like, if we add, like, you know, the veins and the kind of blotches of stuff, and and maybe some blood on the hands and around the mouth, I feel like this is gonna look pretty damn scary, you know? So I think that will work quite nice. In fact, let's go back. Now that we've done that, I want to go back to the female runner, for the first iteration of the female runner, and see if there's anything about this that I'm like, yeah, it could be better, you know? I think it is the face textures, perhaps. Because I'll probably use these as like a foundation and build on top of it. So that looks kind of good. That could work. Like, that looks more like a male, you know, and like some guys get like rashes where their beards are. That's what that looks like. I mean, that's just acne, which I guess infected would get acne because they're not washing themselves, are they? I guess they would. That looks kind of good. Like the lips look quite pale. Is it the eyes? What is it? Something feels slightly off, and I can't shake it. Is it that? Feathering? No, it's not that. Is it the softness of the limbus? Maybe. And then tint, and then lower this. I feel like once the materials are there, it will look good. I might be overthinking it. It just could be a case of get the materials on it and then it will look great. You know what I mean? It could be a simple case of that. Yeah, I think so. I think I might be overthinking it. Where do you make characters? Tell me how to do this in Unreal. Sure. So, the way you do this is you need to activate the MetaHuman plugin. So the first thing you have to do is you have to go to your Epic Game launcher, and you need to make sure that inside your Epic Game launcher, whatever version of Unreal you're using, you need to click this arrow. So let's say you're in 5.6 or 5.7. Go to Options. Make sure that MetaHuman Creator Core Data is turned on. Once you know that that is turned on, you will launch your scene, your project. Then you go to Edit, Plugins, type in MetaHuman, and you'll see MetaHuman Creator. You're going to turn MetaHuman Creator on, and then you're going to restart your project. Once your project has restarted, you can come to any folder in your content browser, and you just right-click, MetaHuman Character. You select that, and it will create a base template of a MetaHuman, and then you can jump in, customize things, tweak things, however you'd like. And then, yeah, that's it. Okay, let's have a look. See, this could be quite good for a stalker, you know? This could work really good for a stalker, actually. This could be a good runner variation. Again, see, it's like this. I could see myself using this. Go away. I could see myself using this for a stalker, actually. You know? It's not far off from what a stalker looks like. Obviously, we need the stems, and we would need to make this look a bit more like fungus. But I think you could take this, add some hair, add some stems coming out of some areas, which I did that for the first one, and then you could have something really cool. I guess my only thing would be that it doesn't. I kind of like how. Yep, don't worry. Streams, they automatically go up on YouTube, so if anyone wants to rewatch, you can. Whoa, 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 whoa. Frame drop. Like, this kind of looks cool, but I do like the lack of a nose. Just it just takes a step further away from humanity. You know, makes it feel a little less human. Just a little less human. Yeah. So let's. Do you know what? Let's use this, and we're gonna copy it, and then we're gonna go here, and we're gonna call this male stalker 01. And then we're gonna select this, and we're going to find it. There it is. Wow, they do have teeth. They do have teeth for us to use with the metahumans. That's actually pretty cool. Let's open this. And let's remove the rig so that we can edit it. Then we're going to come to materials. Then we're going to do this. Then we can hit yes. Booyah. Let's do this, and then this. And it's pretty good. It is. See, I like this. I would. Oh, I wish there was a combination of them. But let's turn it off for now. We're not gonna use them. And let's just go to like pale, proper pale. I don't think we'll go through the entire process of me making all 6, just because it's going to make this live stream very long, but with the time that I have, we'll go through as many as we can, baby. Okay. We're going to conform using a template, and then we find our template and we drop it into there, and then there is a teeth, there is a tooth, there do be teeth in. Okay, and then hit conform. Whoa! That's crazy! Wow! Oh, dude, it's so gross! What the hell, man? Oh. Looks terrifying, though. I mean, the lips are not good. We need to fix the lips. Lips are a little too crazy. I basically need to see what it looks like with the mouth open. That's better. That's better. It can't feel like too uncanny. You know what I mean? It needs to make sense. But that was creepy. Okay. Let's go with this. And let's just brighten up. Let's go with this lighting. Let's turn off the makeup. Goodbye, makeup. Goodbye. 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 Oh, it's that one. That's the one that we want. Adds some vascularity. See, I don't think the body works. Or maybe it does. Maybe I just need the materials on it and then the body will work. You know? I think once we have all the materials on this guy, I think he'll look pretty awful. Let's get rid of the hair, man. I hate this hairstyle. It's the go-to one. Everyone does this hairstyle. If you want to know if a game is from Unreal Engine, look for this hairstyle and any character. If you see it, you know it's from Unreal. Everyone uses it, and I'm like, come on, guys, use something a little custom. You know? Try, maybe? I think this guy, a buzz cut, will work quite well. I actually don't think any hair. You know? Stalkers don't typically have hair. I mean, they do, but some don't. I have found, because I don't know how to make custom hair. I don't know how to make custom hair for metahumans. Nor do I have the time to learn before I want to get this thing out there for people to enjoy. So just focus on what we can do. Slow, isn't it? It's chugging along. Don't like that. I think we're going to get rid of that. Yes, there are some. I need to look into that. Maybe there's some. It's a good point that you bring up. There are some there. Maybe it's something I look into. Just to see what's there, you know? See what we can make of it. Just feels like he's got these really ugly old legs. Now his feet are clipping. maybe he's the wrong one to go with. Maybe this one? It's clipping through still. Okay. Have to figure out something around that. To be honest, I don't mind the grossness of these bits. It's just... I think it's just the intensity of it, you know? It's so intense. It just feels like just too much, you know? Just too much. Calm down. There we go. Just a tad. I actually don't mind it being there. Just reeling it in, you know? But this is a stalker, so I am... To be honest, I could probably... Using this, I could probably make a Fallout short film. You know? It gets the nose. Could probably do it. That could be kind of cool. Maybe that's something in the future, you know? Let's make him a little shorter. And let's make his thighs thinner, knees thinner, calves thinner. Let's also make his biceps thinner, elbows thinner, wrist thinner, forearm thinner. Let's reduce the fat even more. And yeah, this is, in terms of body, this is looking pretty good. Because I'm not against having some of these warts and stuff. It does add, especially for a stalker, right? Stalker is a very different look. So I can't say I'm all for the short shorts for the yeah. I think, you know, stalkers are always a bit more on the skinnier side and malnourished, so we need to get more of that. But I can't say I am all for the short shorts for the stalker. I know he looks pretty damn good in those short shorts, but unfortunately, I don't think it's gonna look great in the final thing. He will be shirtless, so, you know, don't worry. I'm not taking all the fun away. But the short shorts feel a little weird for a scary infected. I feel like if I was in the apocalypse and I saw a creepy monster charging at me and he was wearing short shorts, I think I would have a bit of like a... What's the comedy? Is it Zombieland? Something like that? With Woody Harrelson? I feel like I'd have a bit of a moment like that. I'd be like, huh? Okay. That feels better. I feel like there were more options. Are there like... Are there other things? I feel like I'm getting some... I feel like I'm getting... meshes? Lower body. No, these are not it. We want the metahuman parametric. Yes, here we go. This is what we want. Not upper body though. We want lower body. What option? Wow, really? Not a lot of options, eh? Sorry, I went really English there. Not a lot of options, eh? Just there isn't. I'm a bit confused. I'm like, those feel weird. I don't know why. They feel weird. Honestly, I'm tempted to... Well... Some stalkers do have clothing on, but this clothing specifically just doesn't sit right with me. Why are the short shorts still on him? Get off. See what it looks like with these. Yeah. I agree. Those look better. And then what happens if I come here? I mean, the face looks pretty cool. I don't know what's happening with the body. Why is it doing this? Why are you doing this? It's true. I mean, to be honest, I'm not going to use these materials as is. My plan is to bring everything into Substance Painter and combine them with some more custom stuff. So, yeah. But I think if we... Yeah, I think if I take this into Substance Painter and try and make this look a little more interesting, we can do it. We can do something cool with it. So let's do the eyes. So that's looking better. Let's make the eyes. Thank you, mate. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's getting there. It's definitely getting there. Got some stuff I want to do. Looks pretty. Sorry, getting distracted. Okay, what was I doing? Oh yes. Work. Okay. So let's make the eyes a little bigger. I always think metahumans make the eyes too small. I don't know if you guys have that opinion, but I always find that something that's a big giveaway about metahumans is the eyes in terms of proportion to the rest of the body. They always feel a little on the smaller side. And the brow area always feels a little... underdeveloped. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it, but... let's... yeah. It's just a bit of a giveaway. I've had it every now and then. I'm like, eh. This neck feels too thick. You know? Looks better. I just need to be in clay because it helps me not be distracted by the materials. But we'll worry about materials in the next stream. Today is about getting some cool designs, but I think it's looking pretty cool. I think I might make the eyes look a bit more demented. So I'm gonna do this and this and this. And the reason why I'm going with no nose, and this isn't a spoiler, this is not a spoiler, so don't worry, but in the early stages of the movie, one of the first infected we see is going to be this guy. And something that I think was one of the biggest flaws of We Few Survivors Part 1 was the infected. Specifically the runners and the stalkers. They just felt like metahumans with some bloody textures put on them. And so what I want to do is right off the bat let people know, hey, we've upgraded here, you know? So that's why I've gone with the no nose look. I'm also motivated by just a lot of stalkers. If you guys play the games, I've been playing the games a lot throughout pre-production, production, and post-production. I've been playing the games and watching the games a lot to just really stay immersed into it. I listen to music when I walk to, you know, like on my commute to work, which is like some walking and some train as well. And then my commute back, I'm listening to Last of Us and I'm just immersed in it. And a lot of the stalkers have this kind of creepy lack of nose. Sometimes that means that like a bit of fungus can grow out of here, like a stem. So it could be cool maybe to play with that, you know? But I digress. I don't think I like the eyebrows. I don't like them. They feel like just too much. Like they're a little distracting. So I might try a more subtle. But then again, I mean, they're only standing out this much because of the skin. And the skin's going to look different anyway, so we might be fine. Do you know what? We're going to keep these ones, and worst comes to worst, I just turn them off later on, you know? But I would rather have them there so I don't have to, like, come back and recompile and stuff like that, so we'll just keep them there. Let's apply some peach fuzz. Nice. What was I gonna do? Maybe I just make them brighter. Maybe they're just too dark, you know? Maybe they need... something like that, maybe? So those are a little distracting. Do you feel bonita? I only want them to be really subtle. Just because without them it will look a little weird. You know, humans have eyelashes. So there we go. That's better. Like they're there, but they don't stand out. Alright. Yeah. Pretty happy with that. I mean, you know, we've got to figure out the materials. In Substance Painter, and then also I'm going to sculpt some custom stems to come out of his head, which I think will be quite cool. Where would they come from, though? See, I might give him hair. Because if he has hair, it will just help me hide the stems growing out of his head, you know? Now that I think about it, it would be useful if he had hair. So let's have a look. What was some of the hairs? I think I have some here. Oh boy, it's not a lot of options. Are you still working on the eyes? Because one is bigger than the other. Yes. I'm aware that one is bigger than the other. That's intentional. I mean, if I show you here, like, there's some... Yeah, it's meant to... There's meant to be a creepy difference to the design. Yeah. Are there any other hairs? No. Damn it, dude. That's kind of annoying. Yeah. Yeah, I want there to be an ugliness to it, so that's why it looks like that. What about... Yeah, it's just to... Because I want it to feel less like a human at this point, because that's the point. It's less of... It's not a human really as much at this point now. It's this terrifying looking infected, so... I do think I'm going to have to give him hair. Not that hair. Hey, mama. I've turned infected mama. Looks like damn Elvis. That's better. Oh, I wish there were just some messier hairstyles, you know? Is there a way to... I wonder. No, it's probably not. That is annoying. Because it would be really cool to have the disgusting, like, warts on his head, like that other one did. Because it would... But then the issue with that is then that we lose the lack of nose. And I really want to have the lack of nose, man. I just feel like it would be really impactful. It'd be like, whoa, that's not just a metahuman. You know, the more I can make these metahumans not look like metahumans, the better. But I do like this because it gives me places to grow stems out of, you know? It's tricky. Let me look on Fab real quick. See if there's anything. And if there's not, then I'll just leave it for now and I'll figure something out. It's gonna be metahuman hair. They're all very pretty hairs, though. I need something that looks really ugly and messy and ragged, which none of these look like. And what the hell is that? Can you imagine a stalker running at you while looking like that? That'd be terrifying. That'd actually be more scary than messed up hair. I'd be like, whoa! It'd actually catch me off guard. Maybe if I type in messy hair. That's not messy. That looks like a weird early 2000s haircut. No offense if anyone has that haircut. It's just not what I'm looking for. That looks too pretty boy. These are all like Barbie doll hairs. Long and silky. Why, bro, why is everyone just making pretty hair? Why is no one making messed up looking hair, you know? I feel like you would want that, some variation. It's not the end of the world. I have other ways around it, but I'm just thinking if there's a way I can avoid it, then it would be cool. Sort by price lowest. Let's just see what's free. What the hell? That AI generated? What the hell is that? Random. Okay. Like that, like, you imagine an infected running at you with a hairstyle like that? Okay, it seems... Maybe this guy has some stuff. Okay. No, he doesn't. I mean, he has... It's cool, but it's not. It's not at all what I'm... Not at all what I'm looking for. But it's cool. I'll add them. In case I need them. I'm just going to look a little longer, and if not, we'll move on. Is that? No. So it's like, it's things with like a fade, you know? Like I feel like a lot of these hairs look like fresh haircuts, and that's the issue. We don't want hair that looks like a fresh haircut, because that is not at all what is happening here, you know? Does that make sense? I might have need... No, it looks too... I was going to say I might use this, but... Yeah, the fade is the problem. It's just everything has a fade. Every male haircut has a fade. This one is good, though. This one's not terrible. But I am already using this on another character, so I'm worried that... You know, that will stand out. I think if those sequences are spaced out far enough apart, then you're not going to notice and you won't care. But I think there's a scene right before the scene where this stalker appears, where there's a character with this exact haircut, and I feel like that could be jarring. Ugh, am I going to have to bite the bullet on this and make this guy look just different? That's gonna really annoy me. I really don't want to do that. Okay, you know what? We're gonna commit to the bald look. The stems will just come out. It won't look great, but I can get around it with my lighting. It's a dark scene anyway, so I think we can get away with it. I did it in the first one, and nobody thought it was weird, so I can definitely do it in this one. I just have to make sure that the materials of the stems really match the materials of this head, and yeah, no, it'll be alright. Yeah, I'm gonna make if you're asking, use Blender for that. If you're talking about the stems, yes, I've already made some custom. I sculpted some custom stems for the first one, and so I'm just gonna go back, refine them, because I haven't, excuse me, got hiccups. I haven't touched them since the production of the first one, so I'm gonna go back, refine them, and then use them again. But yeah, exactly. But yeah, I'm gonna use. But I guess. It's just because like I really like the lack of the nose. I feel like if if they had a head that was a missing nose and this, that would be perfect. Because this feels like the fungus like growing out of the head. Obviously, this is not the intention of this. This looks more like boils, but if I re-texture it, I can make it look like fungus. I feel like that combined with the lack of the nose could look really cool. But on the flip side, something I could do is use... I think... Wait, hang on. Let's go back. Let's bring the materials back. Let's just see what it... And then let's go here. Go to skin. Okay, so... Yeah. Do you know what? I can make this work. I don't think I need to make him, you know, bulbous. This works. I just need to, you know, retexture him slightly, bring back a bit more saturation into his skin so he's not just completely grey. Look at reference for the stalkers in terms of the colour of the fungus. Do the same for the body. And I think this all combined with... I can have a stem come out of here. I can have a stem come out of his nose. I can have some stems come out of his ears. And then perhaps I leave this side. Actually, what I'll do is I'll leave this ear, leave this side, but have a bit of fungus, like a stem coming out of here. And then I'll have some stems and crowns and stuff kind of growing out of this side of his head. Going... I was about to point with my finger, but you can't see me pointing. Kind of going this way. You know? And I think that, combined with the new materials, once I fix these materials, make them more what I want, I think that will look... I think that will look quite good. I think that will look quite good. And I actually think as well, I will paint this in with like some fresh flesh, you know, like it's a fresh wound that's split open, and maybe add a bit more there as well, and add some like blood drips there, and then do the same maybe around the nose. But yeah, that's for another day. One last thing. Just gonna make the eyes. Just gonna make it a little darker. There we go. Now that looks pretty good. Looks like he's smiling. Cheese. It's pretty cool. But yeah, I honestly I'm kind of happy. I'm happy in terms of the model. I'm not talking about materials. In terms of the model, I'm happy. I think this is a solid. This is a solid look. Alright, I'm going to stop staring at him. Just go back to this guy. Just make sure that I wasn't unhappy with anything here. Yeah, he's a runner, so it works. Works quite well. Yeah, how long have I been? Whew, okay. I honestly, those are 3 really solid designs. I've still probably got another 4 runners and maybe another 2 stalkers that I need to design. But I will continue to do those throughout the week. I think I'm gonna call it there, guys. I think for today, I think I'm gonna call it there. Just because it's almost been 3 hours. Oh no, what's happened? Is that right? There we go. Okay, but yeah. Thank you guys. Thank you all. I apologize again for the camera. I don't know what it's doing. It's been crazy, but thank you everyone for tuning in. I hope things about this stream were interesting and cool. Next Saturday, we will be jumping into texturing these infected, which should be pretty fun. And so I will show you guys all of the designs that I finalized, and then we will jump into materials, and I'll show you guys kind of what I do with that, which should be fun. And so yeah, I hope this was fun, interesting, educational, something to just put on in the background maybe for you, whatever. I hope it was fun. I hope it was interesting. I had fun. It was definitely better than last live stream when we had a lot of technical issues. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have not checked out the We Few Survivors teaser, I really recommend you check it out. It is on my Instagram, Samster_VFX. It's also going to be going live. Basically, once I end stream, I'm going to post it on YouTube, so you can also keep an eye out on there. If you're not subscribed already, please consider subscribing, liking the video, having a little check out of the channel, and showing some love. It really does mean the world. I'm trying to go eventually full-time with this thing. That's kind of something in the hopefully not too far distant future. But yeah, lots more to come, guys. Thank you all for the support. And until next time, in a bit, lads.